I will talk about right contemplation. Now, what is right contemplation? Literally, you have to think correctly, or you think about right things. Now, what is the importance of thinking correctly? It is not only about thinking correctly, it is also about training your mind or engaging in your mind in right activities, right subjects. That is the reason why repeatedly we are reminding you to engage your mind in some positive contemplation. We have got many books available nowadays, and they got scores of subjects available on the internet itself. The moment you engage yourself into some reading, some study and contemplation, gradually your vibratory level becomes finer, becomes subtler. As you progressively engage your mind in contemplating subtler topics, including esoteric teachings, gradually the mental body, as we call it, we also call it the uh, manas. So you've got different levels of vehicles. One is the stool sharira, the physical body. Second one is the pranamaya kosha, the body of prana. Third one is kama kosha, the desire body, and manonmaya kosha, the mental body. When the mental body gets stronger and start vibrating with a high frequency, it will have automatically a greater control over the lower vehicles. Most importantly, the emotional body or the body of desire. So just by engaging yourself in the right contemplation, you will notice that day after day, you are emotionally getting stronger. This is one area where many people do not want to put much focus. We are so habituated to think about things that are mundane, meaning routine. Most of the time, the mind is engaged in material pursuits, material activities, or you engage your mind thinking about the past or worrying about the future. Seldom you are able to look into the present moments. And every time, if you analyze yourself carefully, most of the time the mind is engaged in something that is not very uplifting or productive. For example, we have a tendency to think about people who harm us, who make us suffer much more than people who are making our life better. Honestly, try to evaluate yourself and check how many times in a day you are thinking about good people, including spiritual teachers, God. How many times you are engaging your mind in productive contemplation, like, for example, esoteric teachings. So this is one area where you have to pay a lot of attention. If you want to make your life better, you have to learn to tame your mind. You have to learn to engage your mind in positive, productive, and finer contemplation. As we engage your mind contemplating, slowly you will find that the emotional vehicle comes under the control of the higher vehicle. And not only that, over a period of time, your mind starts filtering that which is not useful any longer. Can you imagine the implications of right contemplation? There comes a point in time, the mind gradually ceases to think that which is not wholesome, ceases to think that which is not productive or uplifting. It will automatically help you not to think about people who deplete your energy, not to think about anything that brings down your energy level low. As you keep engaging in finer contemplation, training the mind to think something useful, benevolent, you will notice that your energy progressively becomes stronger. When the energy level becomes stronger and stronger and stronger, the body's immune system also gets stronger. Consequently, especially in this demanding period, the challenge that we have in front of us, you stay really protected. Your chances or not getting contaminated with any problem surrounding us is very high when you sustain your energy at an optimum level by engaging your mind in productive, positive contemplation. Now, when the mind is engaged in a very positive direction, slowly, given that your emotional body comes under control, your tendencies to get affected by external activities will gradually minimize. You have to remember that many of the chakras are connected with the vehicles. For example, you have the solar plexus chakra, the center for emotion. This chakra is directly connected with the emotional body or the body of desire. As you start engaging your mind in productive contemplation, the astral vehicles become stable. Consequently, gradually it becomes like a healing for your solar plexus chakra. Majority of your physical and psychological problems are actually to do with your imbalance in the solar plexus chakra. When the solar plexus chakra is not in a healthy condition, you can end up in an emotional crisis, you can go into a depression, you can have unregulated fear, you can have relationship issues. Majority of the problems connected with your relationship are to do with the solar plexus chakra. So just by engaging yourself in the right contemplation, day after day, you will experience that emotionally you are becoming stronger, and more importantly, the body and the energy is maintained at an optimum level. We will keep talking about this very, very important subject. That is why right contemplation. By the way, right contemplation and right viewpoint is actually two arms of the Eightfold Path that Lord Buddha talked about. So Lord Buddha talked about Four Noble Truths. In summary, the Four Noble Truths simply says that there is a cause for suffering, and the cause is the desire. Desire means unregulated desire. So how to overcome this cause of suffering? Buddha taught Eightfold Path. So the two of the limbs of the Eightfold Path are right viewpoint, right contemplation. We will pick up the other limbs of the Eightfold Path in the subsequent discussion. But these are the most important thing. Once you master these two important limbs, generally speaking, you should not be having much problems with your life, because connected with right contemplation is everything. If your thoughts are wholesome, if your thoughts are benevolent and productive, even the speech will naturally become benevolent. You will not have a tendency to speak anything unwholesome. When the thought and the speech are wholesome, the actions will naturally become wholesome. Consequently, you will gradually refrain from doing any negative karma. So it has got a chain reaction. So it begins with right contemplation. Now, when the mental body is very, very strong, gradually, because you are now vibrating with a subtler energy, easy for you to go into the subject of subtler things, such as soul realization. With a grosser level of emotional body, meaning you are highly emotionally imbalanced person, you keep swinging from one extreme to another extreme, this kind of slavery to your emotions will bind the soul with the vehicles. So the soul would not be able to realize that it is a soul or a spiritual being in the first place. That is the problem with most of the people who have got unregulated emotions. They do not even understand that they are a spiritual being, because the vehicles are controlling the soul. I hope you're all listening to me very carefully. So just with the right contemplation, you are able to tame the astral vehicle, and because the astral vehicle is tamed, it is easier for you over time to realize your true self. And that is exactly where Buddha begins, right viewpoint. Looking at life from the perspective of a spiritual being. Looking at life, understanding that you are not the body, you are not the emotion, you are not the thought, you are not the mind, you are a spiritual being. This understanding that you are a spiritual being, that you are a soul, will bring such a mighty shift in everything in your life. Every time you are confronted with any problem, the moment you look at that problem or challenge from the perspective, from the viewpoint of the soul, there is greater clarity. For example, if you are confronted with a mighty challenge and you do not know what to do, remind yourself that you are a spiritual being. The moment you remind yourself as a spiritual being, the fear will automatically come down. The fear and the uncertainty connected with that particular situation will gradually dissolve. Why? Because this is actually a form of contemplation. The mental body becomes stronger, the soul will be in greater control of the vehicles. The vehicle that makes you to suffer, the vehicles that make you to have fear, unregulated fear or uncertainty or any forms of negative emotion is your astral vehicle. When that is in control, the soul gradually will start ruling the vehicles. And when you perform as a soul, when you act as a soul, suddenly you will find that there is a mighty shift in your life. Your perception about life will completely transform the day you start realizing that you are not the body and that you are a soul. That is exactly what is called the right viewpoint. Two important aspects you have to introduce. First is right viewpoint, second one is right contemplation. That is the reason why we are having study groups like this. You might be thinking, what is there for me to listen? We are talking about the same thing over and over again. But just listening with attention itself is helping you to increase your vibratory level, because to listen, you have to hear me. Listening means at a deeper level. Listening automatically helps you to contemplate. Listening automatically helps you to tune in with your mental vehicle. And consequently, in a matter of few moments, your vibratory level is increasing and it will continue to increase. As it is increasing, check at this very moment what kind of emotions are affecting you. If you are listening to me carefully and then the mind is engaged in some contemplation, difficult for you to have any emotional crisis, at least at this moment. Are you all listening to me? So together with these two important aspects, the other aspect that you have to pay attention to is constantly generating good karma. I am talking in light of the crisis that we are actually having today. Many of us are having many fears. Many of us are having a lot of uncertainties. And we are not very sure where we are heading for, which is very, very true. But even though you are in a warlike situation, the contemplation on the right matter and acting as a soul, that is right viewpoint, will help you to become a spiritual warrior. For a warrior, there is no fear. For a warrior, there is no uncertainty. Why? The warrior is habituated to do the best and leave the rest. The warrior all the time gets divine support. Divine support is not about you becoming successful or you getting a lot of money. It is not about that. The life of a warrior is about getting support to strengthen the soul, increase your inner strength, increase your spiritual insight. The insight or the wisdom is the most precious treasure in all the universe. So when you act as a soul, gradually it will help you to have control of all your lower vehicles, and gradually it will also help you to understand that you are a spiritual warrior. As you put yourself, engage yourself as a spiritual warrior, life has to become better. So together with these two important limbs that I'm talking to you today, also pay attention to constantly generate good karma. One of the easiest way to generate good karma is be a part of the group activity. What is so important about the group activity? The importance about the group activity is, as my teacher used to all the time remind, 7 people doing an activity together, including meditation, is equivalent to 100 people meditating or doing activities on their own. So with a large group like this, when we are doing a study, there is a collective synergy energy we create. This collective energy will help us to increase our group consciousness to a very high level. And together with that, when we are engaging ourselves in doing something good to the humanity, this will automatically have an exponential effect. Exponential means it is not like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 or 100 plus 11 is 111. Exponential means 10 to the power of as many people. That is called exponential. At this very moment, if you are able to sustain a peaceful state of mind, this itself is a service to your immediate surroundings, to your country, to the world in some way. That means maintaining a positive state of mind itself is a service. Together with that, when we do the blessing, this actually is magnified many, many fold. So one of the most important thing that you need to constantly remind yourself is, as I keep on making the lives of people better, my own life will become better. That is enough. It might take little time because what we had sown in the past, we have to face it. That's a reality. No matter how good a person you are, how many meditations you do, and what kind of benevolent activities you do, something that has been created in the past or sown in the past, we have to face it. But if you follow these two important instructions, right contemplation, right viewpoint, if you follow these two important instructions, then facing challenges of life will be much, much, much simpler. No matter what kind of upheaval you will have, ups and downs you will have, you will notice that you do not fall or crumble to such an extent that the humanity today is facing. Something will help you to cultivate hope, will help you to cultivate the faith that is so needed in these challenging times. Is a point taken. So let us try to contemplate on all these points. Tomorrow, again, I will continue on this and then I will talk about one more thing tomorrow, which is going to be a very important discussion. Let us begin our great invocation. Please keep your body straight. Try to wholeheartedly bless. There should be karuna, compassion from your heart, because the whole humanity is suffering so much of unspeakable pain. Fortunately, we are all basically having a place to sit and some food to eat. It is not the plight of the humanity today, it's a bloodbath. So, for our brothers and sisters, let the blessing come from your heart. Engage yourself wholeheartedly in the blessing. Are you all ready? As you maintain the focus on the light above the crown, we chant Om. While you are chanting Om, let us bless the entire planet. Om. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being. The purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let goodwill and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power manifest the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it. Om. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let good will and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seem the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power manifest the divine plan on earth. So be it. So be it. So be it. Om. Om. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of every person, every being. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of every person, every being. Let love descend on earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of every person, every being, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. Let good will and the will to do good descend on earth. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power manifest the divine plan on earth. So be it, so be it, so be it, and so it is. As we maintain the peace, the stillness, we shall produce for the billion minutes of Eco Mind, the global initiative to make the world a better place to live and to bring heaven on earth. Just for a minute, visualize vibrant pink light spreading to the surroundings. Bless all the members of your family with light, with love, with peace and power. Bless all the sentient beings in your neighborhood, in the city and the country. Experience waves of pink light radiating to the continents of Asia, Africa, Middle East, Europe, North and South America, Australia, and Antarctica. Experience waves of pink light radiating to the whole planet Earth and to the etheric body of beloved Mother Earth. May all sentient beings in all the directions be infinitely blessed by the Supreme God. May all be blessed with soothing, healing energies, with divine love, with goodwill, and the will to do good. May heaven on earth manifest rapidly. Special blessings to healthcare professionals and all the people working relentlessly in serving the mankind, in the Department of Police, in the Department of Healthcare, in the Department of Government, all essential services, including banks. May all these people be infinitely blessed and shielded and protected from all harms and dangers. May all these people be infinitely blessed by the Supreme God. So they may continue radiating the light to specific activities, including people who are in need. God bless you for your participation. Tomorrow again at 8 p.m. we shall meet. Please do inform your relatives, your friends who can also join this program. Namaste to all of you.